Okay, hi everybody. I am in here today to talk about the final factor for nourishing our breast health. I know that throughout the month of October, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we have talked about different ways that we can step in to this place of owning our breast health all month long, beyond just doing, which is very important, of course, but beyond doing, the annual mammogram. Okay, so of course that's important. We want to be able to check, what do our breasts, what's happening inside of our breasts, but really and truly you'll get the biggest, you'll be able to be much more proactive around breast health when you can know how to nourish your breasts day in and day out all year long. I am going to actually do a summary post of this for those of you that are on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, I'll share that summary post here as well. And know that you can also find the recordings Instagram for these live videos on facebook.com/Dr. Melissa Esguerra. So today, you guys, the seventh factor that we're going to be talking about is emotions. Just to recap, we've covered 6 factors so far. 1, environmental inputs, like looking at the nutritional foundations of our body. Do we have what it takes to nourish healthy breast tissue? Looking at food and looking at supplementation. Number 2 was looking at inflammation and immune support, both of which are very important in being able to create healthy breast tissue. Factor number 3 was looking at hormones. Factor number 4 was looking at digestion. Factor number 5 and 6 we did in a single video. Factor number 5 was detox, and factor number 6 was looking at oxidative stress. We also looked at inflammation again in that video, so it's a really good one to go back to. And then factor number 7 we're talking about today, and that's looking at our emotional wellness. So I actually, I have a big background in functional medicine. Looking at emotional health was something I never really enjoyed doing. To me, that was very that whole mystical realm for a long time until I found the book All Is Well. When I learned about Dr. Mona Lisa Scholes, she changed my life, and so did Dr. Candace Pert. Dr. Candace Pert wrote the book Molecules of Emotion, and Dr. Mona Lisa Scholes, she wrote the book, I think it's called The Feminine Brain. The Female Brain. And both of those women do I didn't even press start on Instagram. My God. You guys, I think it's time for lunch. But anyways, both those women, hi guys, Instagram, we are talking about factor number 7 today, emotional wellness when looking at breast health, okay? So I'm already live on Facebook, so I'm just gonna keep going. Both of those women do a beautiful job breaking down the physiology and of emotions, and how emotions actually manifest in our body physically, and it's not like an esoteric belief anymore. Like, we can actually look at the molecules of that. We can look at the physiological manifestation of emotions. And Dr. Candace Pert talks about how that medium actually comes down to little tiny peptides. So if you're interested in diving into that a little bit more, hi guys on Instagram, go ahead and check out the book Molecules of Emotion by Dr. Candace Pert, the New Female Brain by Dr. Mona Lisa Scholes, or this book, which is a beautiful summary kind of that. This is co-written. It's called All Is Well. It's written by Dr. Mona Lisa Scholes and Louise Hay. So it's a beautiful book where they kind of break down of different health challenges and what that emotional component can look like. So today we're going to focus on, we should honestly dive into each one of these chapters because this is so interesting to read. We're just going to talk about the emotional component for breast health. Okay, if you're just joining me, let me know where you're coming from. Hi, Amelia on Facebook. Thank you for joining. If you have questions about breast health, feel free to post in the comment section. But I want to talk to you a little bit about what this emotional but the breasts can show up for in terms of letting us know emotionally what we might be needing a little bit more support around. So our breasts are connected to, actually I'm going to pull it up here so I can read it correctly. According to All Is Well, which is Louise Hay and Dr. Mona Lisa Scholes, they actually say that breasts are representing mothering and nurturing and nourishment, okay? So we can have imbalance in those emotions. I mean, especially as women, right? We tend to be over-nourishing. I hope to be a mom someday, but right now I don't have human babies. I have fur babies. I have 3 cats, and I can't imagine what I will be like with kids, because my husband jokes around that I'm a helicopter cat mom. I'm like too nourishing to my cats. I can only imagine how that will get like 10 times worse with our human babies. So, you know, I think that while that's a lot of love, of course, sometimes we can overexpress that in ways that become really promoting a lot of anxiousness and nervousness, controlling. So that can be the dark side of that if we are not properly balanced with that nourishment. Another way that that can look imbalanced is if we give too much nourishment but don't receive enough nourishment. Now, we don't have to be disempowered by waiting around for somebody to provide that nourishment for us. That's not what they're talking about in this book. But what they are talking about is as you give and nourish for other people, taking the time to give and nourish to yourself as well, so that there's a healthy energy in that, a balanced energy, a give and take in the chakra, in this heart chakra that's connected to the nourishing and the nurturing between us and those that we're in relationships with. And that doesn't have to just look like between mom and offspring, okay? But also between like you and your parents, or you and your life partner, or you and your friends, and maybe how you engage with your tribes. Okay, so let's talk about ways that we can support emotionally, better harmonizing that emotional energy here in the breast tissue. So I actually looked up what oils could be nourishing for that emotional component, and what it showed was it showed jasmine, neroli, a couple of different ones. So I'll name all of them, but I want to share with you some of the popular blends that you could actually do. Jasmine, neroli, and rose are really beautiful together. So those are actually very nourishing. As we apply oils over our heart chakra and over our breast tissue, we are nourishing ourselves. So as you're rolling on maybe that trio of oils, you can actually give yourself this affirmation that Louise Hay shares with us in this book. She says, I take in and give out nourishment in perfect balance. Okay, now taking in nourishment might be hard for some of us. Like some of us have maybe some negative beliefs around receiving. Like so I've been this person before where I think rest is for the weary. I can work when I could be. Why go get a massage when I could be working? Why, you know, go on a run when I could be doing a phone call, right? That's totally not okay, right? That's being on the phone with somebody, you know, and working or booking an appointment instead of taking the time to go out and work out and nourish myself. That's totally creating an imbalance in that heart chakra, right? So if you're somebody that's wanting to really draw attention to having more balance here in this chakra, in this fourth chakra, maybe take that affirmation and write it down on a sticky note and stick it, you know, in your bathroom or in your car, maybe in a couple of different places where you find yourself throughout the day, so that you can be reminded of that statement that you're working on internalizing and really owning and bringing into your life on a daily basis. So again, that affirmation is, I take in and give out nourishment in perfect balance. Okay, now one thing I love about the oils is, and I learned this from Dr. Danielle Daniels, who I actually don't know personally, unfortunately. I hope to meet her one day, but I love what she said at convention. She talked about, she's actually, she's getting her PhD in psychology, so she actually knows a lot about this kind of stuff. She talked about aromatic anchors. So and also aromatic pattern interrupters. So I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to list off the oils for the fourth chakra, and then I'm going to talk about how you can use that to help anchor the scent. You can use the scent to help anchor yourself into that mind state again. Like if you find yourself getting into a state of frustration or overwhelm or worry because there's like maybe some helicoptering going on, some controlling going on, trying to control everything with those that you love. Trust me, I've been there. Then you can, if you catch yourself in that, you can take your oil, rub it on, smell it. And if you've been rolling that oil on and putting it on as you give yourself that affirmation here and there, if you're out at soccer practice or something and you don't have that affirmation, you can't remember it, the idea here is if you have that aromatic anchor, you could just put it on, and the neurology in your brain will start to remember the feeling that that affirmation has, because it's going to link the scent to that feeling of the affirmation that the information gives you, and then you can pull yourself into that new headspace quickly. Similarly, if you need to do a pattern interrupter, like let's say you're in this space of just like total overwhelm, give, and you're uncomfortable and you're feeling it, you're feeling the stress of that, you can actually smell that to interrupt that that neurological pattern of you showing up, overwhelm, give. You can smell it, and that will help interrupt that pattern and then anchor you back to that positive emotion, which is connected to that affirmation. I take in and give out nourishment in perfect balance. Okay, so let's talk about some oils that would be great to use to, be your pattern interrupter, be your aromatic anchor, because they're also perfect for this fourth chakra. Okay, so again, jasmine, neroli, and rose, I recommend that as a combination. They also recommended and gave sandalwood and geranium as one as well. Lavender was another one. Bergamot, oh my God, bergamot is so lovely applied here over the chest, especially over the heart. Bergamot is the oil of self-love. Some people, they might find themselves in this state of over-nourishing out rather than taking the time to nourish in, because maybe there's some subconscious beliefs around not being worthy or not loving oneself. And so that oil helps to break up that emotional programming. So, and if we can if we can love ourselves more, that actually then gives the subconscious permission to show up and take more time for self-care and self-nourishment. Another oil that you can use is Breathe. Breathe was recommended, but Breathe is more connected to grief. Breathe is more specific to lungs. Lungs are in the fourth chakra as well, but it's a bit of a different, lungs are a different organ, of course. So, the emotional patterning is a little bit different. It's more connected to grief. And then also cypress was recommended. And I would actually recommend you do cypress. Like if you're doing emotional work and you're working on releasing some old belief patterns around taking time for yourself, or old belief patterns around over-nourishing relationships in your life and not nourishing yourself enough, you can actually use cypress every couple of days down the spine. Now, I actually learned that from Desiree, because Desiree Manendog, I don't know if you guys follow her, but she's like a freaking wealth of information around emotional health using oils for that. She talks about how cypress helps to promote movement of energy throughout the body. And actually, cypress is great for blood flow. So in Chinese medicine, they associate, there's energy meridians, and cypress is thought to be able to move those energy meridians, just like cypress will help move blood flow. Okay, so if you're like really proactively in this place of wanting to energetically balance the energy here in the fourth chakra around the breasts, you could choose to do jasmine, rose, neroli as a trio, or maybe you're doing sandalwood and lavender because that really resonates with you. Bergamot, maybe it's a combination of those things. Maybe you're rotating those things, but I would pick one or two that are a scent, like an aromatic anchor for you. And then every couple of days, you can use the cypress oil to help move stuck energy out of your body if you have some things that are just hanging out and staying stuck, okay? So anyways, that's the emotional component to breast health, is really making sure that you have a good, healthy balance of nourishing others and nourishing yourself. If you know that you want to work on, maybe being over-nourishing with certain relationships, taking a little inventory on that could be helpful. Looking at how your sense of control, if you feel like you need to be in control of everything, maybe that's a false belief. You can work on changing that belief as well with some of the oils. Or if it's really just about you not taking time for yourself, and needing to give yourself the nourishment and the love that you deserve from yourself. I know that I've actually had conversations about this with girlfriends, and some of that can be heard like that nourishment needs to be coming from their partner, from their romantic partner, their life partner. Okay, and that's not what they're saying in this book. Okay, that's how I actually read it when I first read it. I was like, well, Evan needs to be doing this, this, and this so I can feel well nourished. That's so disempowering. That is not the message, okay? The message is that we are empowered around our self-nourishment. So figuring out where in your life can you, if you're not already, can you take the time to give yourself some much deserved and much needed self-care, okay? I hope that this information was relevant to you guys. I know talking about emotions is it's not my expertise by any means whatsoever, but I wanted to bring this up and just really invite you to explore this a little bit more if some of this information is resonating and maybe you have a piqued interest, a piqued curiosity around the emotional component of breast health. Maybe that's your spirit tapping you on the shoulder going, let's explore this a little bit more. So ways to do that would be check out Desiree Manadog, DesireeManadog.com. She wrote a beautiful book called I Am Fabulous. Another one which might be more relevant actually to this topic in particular that was just released called I Am Worthy. Other books that really get into the physiology of all of this is the book All Is Well by Dr. Mona Lisa Scholes and Louise Hay. Also Molecules of Emotion by Dr. Candace Pert. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section. Instagram, this will only be live for the next 24 hours, but if you want to catch the recording, you can find me on facebook.com/Dr. Melissa Esquera. If you have a girlfriend that you know would appreciate this information, maybe she's in search of looking to see how she can nourish her breasts on a daily basis, go ahead and tag her in the comment section as well. All right, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you so much for joining me in this 7-day checking out these videos for the 7 factors for breast wellness. It is such a pleasure and an honor for me to be able to share this information with you guys. I'm really walking alongside you, looking at a lot of this stuff, investigating this stuff myself, and I'm just so excited to be able to share some of it in these communities and learn alongside you. So anyways, if you have something to share that would be relevant to our community around this topic, we would love to hear from you. Please share in the comment section. Lots of love. Have a great rest of the day. I'll talk to you guys soon.